here at the New York Design Awards, the Design Summit in New York. I'm pleased, in fact thrilled to meet from Mucca Design, Matteo Bologna. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Extremely well. To start with, we're going to talk about a few projects, but to begin, let's talk about Sephora, which you've designed a new font for, imaging, etc. Let's go back to basics. Exactly what is Sephora and what have you done?
Sephora is a big company, beauty company. They sell products from other beauty companies, and they're everywhere in the world, and they have these black and white stripes that if you see in the street, you will say it's Sephora. But up to a few months ago, they didn't have their own corporate font, which they called us to design, which for us was great because Mucca Design is a branding company, and usually we do kind of like 360 projects, so from brand strategy to websites and logos, etc., everything that goes from A to Z. But in this case, thanks to the fact that I'm a super type nerd, and I'm a good friend with a creative director at Sephora, she asked me to design their own typeface, which was a very interesting project because it's just type. We didn't work on their branding part, and it's interesting being somebody who does branding to do something and give your child to somebody and say, okay, raise it, and without being involved in, paying for tuition or take him to school every day. So it's an interesting thing to design a typeface that helps a company to have a strong voice, a unique voice that nobody else has, and therefore to give to this brand even more strength.
So they didn't have a unique typeface just for themselves, which is surprising considering the size of the company as well. So why did they need that? Why was this company requiring something that gave them that differentiation?
I think, first of all, because, as you said, it helps them to differentiate themselves from other companies. A typeface is kind of like the sound of a voice, of the voice of a company. I can use Helvetica for my company, but then my company will have the same sound as your voice, which is, I don't know why people keep using Helvetica, but that's right. That's another story. I think there's also economical considerations. Typefaces are licensed, usually. When you get a typeface, you buy a license of use, and you buy it for a number of users. If you're a big corporation and you need to use these typefaces for a lot of users and for a lot of usages, so from print to web to app, the cost of licensing goes so up that it reaches a point where it's cheaper and smarter to hire a type designer to design your own typeface so that you have total ownership or long ownership of the typeface, and you have your own typeface. So it's totally like a very easy equation for a company.
So did they approach you, or did you say this is what you need? Tell me a bit about that client relationship.
I always tell clients that they need to get their own typefaces and stop using Helvetica. No, in this case, they just approached me.
Right. Okay, so therefore, they knew that this was a good economic solution for the company, across the company, in order to achieve their goals, save money, etc. So they come to you, and then you provide them with the typeface. So what did you do to work with them to show them what they needed?
It was kind of like pretty simple. They told me what they liked. And because they were in a process of a big rebranding, so I had a lot of pillars that I have to follow. So based on these branding pillars that they were reshaping for the company, I propose a certain style of typefaces. Actually, were two typefaces, one that is a serif typeface and one that is a sans serif typeface. And I'm not going to get into details because you're going to get bored to death. But practically, what's happening in the fashion and in the beauty world is that everybody, can I say the word fucking? Yes, okay. Everybody uses fucking Didot, okay, or Bodoni, which is a typeface that is kind of like the ultimate cliche for fashion and beauty, which is a fantastic typeface. It's kind of like the typeface that is for the logo of Vogue or the old Vanity Fair, or the new Vanity Fair. So it's something that is such a cliche that everybody sees that and immediately thinks about fashion or beauty. And it's something that kind of like bugs me, you know, like everybody uses Helvetica, everybody uses Didot. So what we try to do like a version 2.0 of a Didot, so that still people look at it and feels like a Didot, like a typeface that says beauty and says fashion, but it's not, and it's their own unique voice.
Okay. I'm going to have to change Helvetica off my computer immediately from my word processor. I feel really bad now. What am I going to do? How about Calibri? Is that okay?
Yeah. I can design one for you.
Yes. I'll have that. Thank you. How has it transformed Sephora so far? What can you see in terms? Obviously, we've discussed how yes, it's financial sense to do this, but today, and I know you've mentioned also that the typeface is in the fashion sort of vernacular, I suppose. But how has it transformed the business? How has it helped them now?
I think in this case it's going to help to give out a messaging that is more concise, that in the long run, of course, it works after you bang people in their head several times with this visual signal, which is the typeface. Hopefully in 20 years, if they keep using it, everybody's going to be sick of the Sephora font. They're going to say, oh, everybody uses the Sephora font to say beauty. Let's do something different. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. Once you own a typeface, you need to use it in a way that it helps you to define your branding, like use a certain kind of imagery or colors. Those are all the elements of a branding, besides, you know, of course, the copyright but in this way you are, because a brand uses text a lot, and if you use your own typeface, you give sometimes just a subliminal presence of the brand just by setting text with your own typeface. So, and hopefully this is going to help them to make more money, because, you know, this is America. That's why we are designers. We help our clients to make more money.
Right. Well, you are going to send me a new typeface now, aren't you? You did promise.
Yes, or if you don't want to spend money for a custom typeface, you can go to Mucca Typo, which is a new thing that I just started. After designing typefaces for corporate clients for many years, I finally decided to take some of the typefaces and sell them retail. So you can buy the typefaces for a cheaper price than a custom-made typeface. But I mean, if you have a lot of money, I mean, not a lot, but I mean, enough to provide for private school for my kids, I can design a new typeface for you.
Fantastic. That sounds great. I'll have a serif, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Sheriff of serif.
Serif costs a little bit more. I can, if you want, yeah, because of, you know, the extra things.
That's great. Matteo Bologna, thank you so much. Talking about your font for Sephora. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.